All right. We've had the coin toss. McDuffie has won the toss.
Seems to have that Traptrix Vermilio for the open. Perhaps 2 Traptrix Vermilio.
And he's starting off with one of them. Using its now well-known effect to search out a normal trap card that is a trap hole to get bottomless trap hole. Not exactly useful if his opponent also opens up with Vermilio, as we discovered in one of our previous matches. He's also got what looks like Solemn Warning and Wiretap.
So I guess Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare as well.
4 face-down cards ends the turn for McDuffie, and Tolbert is up. This is a bit of a tricky situation, but he starts off with Fire Formation Tenki. He could be trying to offer up... He'd probably get a Gorilla at this point. No, you'd probably get the Bear. But whatever you get it is being offered up as a sacrificial lamb if you summon it.
Or the Wolf Bark if he already has one of those cards.
Yep. As you know, whatever you're summoning is going in the bottomless trap hole. Looks like Tolbert said wow there for a minute. But he is running a full complement of Ice Hand, which would sneak under.
Tolbert is also main decking 2 copies of Forbidden Lance as well. So if you need something to get there, it could.
No offense this time around. A pair of Speller Trap cards and a face-down monster. And the look on his face says, yeah, the pressure's on. He wants to win this one so he doesn't have to take his chances on the real true do-or-die match for the 5th and 6th spots.
Yeah. Again, everybody here gets 2 shots at a trip to Italy, but everybody only wants to have to take one of them.
Second Traptrix Vermilio is thinking about it and activates Solemn Warning, giving up 2,000 life points to negate that summon.
That's probably wise. Tolbert really does not want McDuffie raking in quite that many free cards and is willing to pay some life points to keep it from happening.
Especially when the 2 things that he searched are guaranteed practically to take out one of his monsters.
Yeah,
and monsters are in short supply in this match.
This is definitely be a very grindy matchup, and every monster really counts here.
Both players have 14 monsters that they can potentially go on offense with. McDuffie runs 16 monsters total, but 2 of them are max C, which you aren't going to be doing any attacking or defending with. Tolbert is up. Sets 1 card face down, and that's it.
Very cautious play from Tolbert here. Still fairly conservative play from McDuffie as well. Both these competitors have seen these kinds of mirror matches before, if not necessarily precisely like them, given the presence of Fire Fists in this particular feature match. And they know that they usually begin with a build, and then stuff pops off. And whoever heads in most prepared into that situation is usually the person who wins. Nobody wants to be the duelist to blink first.
Traptrix Dynea is normal summon. Its effect is used to special summon the fallen Mirmilio, and Mirmilio's effect will trigger to destroy a Speller Trap.
McDuffie just free effect after free effect, jockeying for this awesome positioning here.
He goes for the one closest to Tolbert's extra deck, and it's a Dimensional Prison. Heads to the graveyard.
Solid hit.
Now, the tricky thing here is if you run into a hand right now. Like if that's an Ice Hand set, or a Fire Hand at this point, since there are plenty of monsters on the field, you could give Tolbert the momentum he needs to get back into the game. Right now, though, everything's going McDuffie's way. And he appears to be contemplating a summon of Abyss Dweller to shut off any such shenanigans.
You can certainly afford it.
Why not? It's all free anyway.
Giving his options a quick little thumb through.
Goes with
Really?
Lava Valve Chain. Very interesting. See what he does with it. Activating by detaching Myrmidon, but having it immediately destroyed and negated by
Does he have his one
Nightmare.
wiretap?
I believe I saw it, but is he going to use it here? These are all free cards. There's no need to defend them.
No. And he is. That might be a little early.
Goes ahead to use it,
I'll have to see what it is he intends to do with it.
and McDuffie refuses to even let Tolbert shuffle his own deck.
I mean, I think at this point, McDuffie's just eager to make these trades of card for card because he's so up. Let's see what he does.
We got Lava Valve Chain. Yeah, you could use it to
Yeah.
setting up even more
Let's
free
just
summons.
get
off
another
the
free
Dynam.
summon or another free back row pop.
Yep.
Why not?
All right, and then he goes to battle, attacking into Ice Hand. Probably not what McDuffie wanted to see,
Nice, nice.
but he's got the warning to block the entire effect. Remember, it doesn't just stop the part that special summons; it stops the whole thing.
No destruction, no summon, nothing. It just goes down.
And Chain gets in directly. Well, that certainly didn't go as well as Tolbert had hoped it would. And a third card is added to McDuffie's Spell and Trap Zones.
I mean, what do you do in Tolbert's situation here? Because unless he has something that can stop that Diona, he knows he's losing that back row card.
Well, he's got... No, he's played Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. Though, there's every chance that he's drawn it back. We've seen it happen before. He's got a pair of Vanity's Emptiness. He's played his Solemn Warning. He's got a Black Horn of Heaven, but that's not going to be particularly useful because it'll be destroyed before the Xyz summon happens. Pulsar Evacuation Device, probably not happening. Trap Hole, nope. Bottomless Trap Hole could at least stem some of the tide. And there's always Torrential Tribute. The second Dionea comes out. And Tolbert takes a second to read it.
Very little actual, recourse in McDuffie's deck against an Exciton Knight. That seems like the only thing that could keep Tolbert in this here.
He's got Bottomless Trap Hole, which is enough to do absolutely
nothing against Traptrix
because
monsters.
it's just a pile of Traptrix monsters.
The card does not work, sir. That's over.
One Myrmidon and one Dionea are combined to create. There's the Abyss Dweller.
Yeah.
He's thinking about it last time, but went for the free cards. And this time he's going to lock everything up.
No outs.
Abyss Dweller attacks first, taking out Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Gorilla.
Wow, desperate.
But that does set him up for the Wolf Bark. So if he could get something going, that Wolf Bark would be the card to do it. Direct attacks from the rest of the monsters follow. And now McDuffie will use the final material from Lava Valve Chain, probably to load up his last Dionea.
Another Dionea, yeah.
Why not? It's worked twice before.
No?
Ah, he goes with Fire Hand. That's interesting. So it appears he's preempting the Wolf Bark. Basically, whatever comes out from that, Fire Hand will just crash.
We're going to punch it right off the field.
Yep.
Yeah. Just in case you thought there was a chance we wouldn't have answers in these 3 back rows.
Just everything went McDuffie's way in this one.
Tolbert's still fighting, though.
Yep.
Not yet giving the concession.
He's got an idea. It looks like he's got...
There we go. You just want to see the last
card. It looked like he had an ignition in there, which would stop one back row, but that's not going to get you there against an Abyss Dweller and a Fire Hand coming up.
Early lead from McDuffie just snowballs endlessly.
All right. It looks like our duelists are ready. Tolbert will be starting things off this time.
Whole lot of green and pink in Tolbert's hands.
Yep. I think I saw a dark hole there. Fire Formation Tanky starts things off.
That's the best kind of green.
That's some green that gets you some orange.
Yeah.
Brings out Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. And I would feel like summoning it here is probably the best idea, so you can get it around the army of trap holes that could be waiting for you.
As long as he's got a decent back row to support it, seems all right.
Yep, we certainly saw some...
we know he may not, since there was a lot of green there. But McDuffie did not see that, so...
Pot of Duality's up next, and it could, in fact, fix the problem.
Oh, another wolf. Now I think he has to summon
all right,
it.
Myrmileo, Tensu, and Wolfbark. That is kind of a choice. The
See what those...
Myrmileo,
Yeah, I think that's the right choice.
he's going to go ahead and take that. He just has to remember that he can't use whatever trap hole he gets against the opposing Myrmileos and Dianaeas.
Yeah. It's probably best that he got that mistake out of the way in a game he was unlikely to win in the first place anyways.
Bottomless Trap Hole is the card added to Tolbert's hand, and probably soon to be his spell and trap zones. And the best thing about this is that he's got that bear as back. If McDuffie takes a defensive stance here, and he thinks he can get away with it without getting blasted by one of the hands, that bear could help him keep up the pressure.
It sends a nice direct message to McDuffie that's going to shape his plays.
3 spell and trap cards are set to the field, and McDuffie's up. He's got a Myrmileo of his own. And Tolbert was thinking about it for a second, but he knows the bottomless trap hole won't work. But now McDuffie has his own, and that hurts if you're relying on putting Bear onto the field and possibly bringing him back later with Wolfbark. We see Bottomless Trap Hole, Mystical Space Typhoon, a bunch of other trap cards, and it looks like McDuffie's going to set 5. And say go. And that could be the opening he needs to get him with straight flushes if he's got it. Which it seems he does not. But there you go. That's exactly the situation.
That is what Tolbert wants to see.
Ice Hand up next.
Also pretty good.
One way to
get there.
Tricky part there is if he uses a trap against it, like if he had Solemn Warning, well, now you can't straight flush. That's a pretty big assumption on our part that he's putting it in. It could just be that quarterfinals, there's no way I'm taking a risk on straight flush at the quarterfinals.
I bet he did not put straight flush in. I don't think that happened.
That'd be amazing to watch, though.
I would certainly like to see it.
Mystical Space Typhoon is the response to Ice Hand Summon, and it targets the Bottomless Trap Hole that was searched out on the first turn.
Quite well scouted.
Tolbert makes an attack. He'll take 300 off of that. And activate the effect of Ice Hand, targeting the farthest, the closest to the deck.
Is that actually going to work? It's pretty huge if it does.
Yeah, it might. McDuffie's looking
It looks like it's going to work.
Maybe it's going to happen.
Oh, no, it is not.
Targeted debunk. That's just about the worst thing that could have happened there. Ice Hand is banished. Its activation is negated. And he didn't even get to find out if there was something else that McDuffie valued back there. Next up, the Myrmeleos are going to trade off. Or at least that's what Tolbert wants to happen.
He really has to try for it. I mean, even if the exchange isn't really in his favor across the long term, he needs to keep McDuffie off of a rank 4 play or any sort of real aggressive action next turn beyond a normal summon.
Oh, but he's got the Sanctum.
And McDuffie wants that momentum next turn.
Artifact Sanctum. And
McDuffie just feeling it. He's feeling that he's in an ever so slightly stronger position, and he's not giving that up.
With practically nothing to negate an Artifact Sanctum.
Yeah. Ah.
But one of the few outs he had, it's there. The one-off Trap Hole Nightmare.
Not bad, not bad. But again, just like thinning out his own field before McDuffie's going to take his turn.
Yep. The attack's still coming, though. But we do know that Tolbert has that bear in his hand. So even if he keeps simplifying, if McDuffie isn't getting any monsters, he could get away with it. Still that bottomless trap hole to tangle with, though.
Really probably represents his best chance right now.
Second tanky.
Nice.
That's going to get him yet another monster to work with. And that could be a double bear, one for the bottomless, one for attacking. He could get Gorilla, immediately force the bottomless, or he could get that wolf bark that he sent back earlier. And it looks like that is what he's going to do. Thing with wolf bark, though, is that if your bear is banished, it's not getting anything back.
It's not particularly effective, no. Does Tolbert remember?
It is possible that the pressure has blanked his mind to what was searched previously.
He has those. He plays 2 lances, right? Yeah,
he does play 2 lances.
Could have the lance to back it up. He has the lance to back it up. He's got a great 2-turn play sequence here, especially if McDuffie does not manage to summon a monster. McDuffie rips a compulsory, sets it.
But it's still no monster, and bouncing bear back to the hand.
There's a monster.
The best.
Now this is a tougher decision for Tolbert.
And he goes ahead and sets a monster and another back row card. Now the worst thing would be if you dropped your bear and then used its ability to hit into one of the hands.
Yeah.
That would be what you don't want.
I think that possibility is all that's holding Tolbert back right now.
And again, McDuffie knows that. That could just be a bluff.
Yeah. If he flips that up next turn and it's not a hand, that was a hell of a move.
He's not flipping up anything, though.
No.
Plays back to Tolbert. And Tolbert is content to leave it be. McDuffie adds another spell or trap. And the problem for Tolbert is that the longer he lets this go on, the more magnified it is. Like, he's just not going to have a chance to play any monsters once that back row gets up to 5. Like, 4 right now, he still might not be able to resolve a normal summon for the rest of the game.
Yeah. McDuffie's facial expression's not looking supremely confident, looking slightly frustrated. Is that an ice hand?
That's ice
Yeah,
hand,
set
and
an
he's
ice
setting
hand.
it. The lack of happiness seems to indicate that maybe he's got a pair of ice hands.
That would be awful.
And that is full house on the end phase.
One way to do it.
1, 2 tankies. 1, 2, 3 other cards.
This is gonna force some action. Or it's just gonna blow McDuffie out entirely, but it's probably gonna force some action. Yeah.
Compulsory is activated. Returns
Set him back
something.
a turn.
And he loses
Wow,
what appears to be solemn warning and
and
bottomless.
bottomless.
Not bad. Not bad. So, the problem is he's still got that one face-down card. And if he can use it before attacking into some hands, then he's in business.
And
Dark Hole is next, though.
Now he's going to lose a dice hand. Was it 2 ice hand? Can't see.
That's ice hand and...
Clearly not another ice hand. It's ice hand and something. So it was some sort of bluff.
Fire hand comes out because the target was successfully destroyed by ice hands. And we still haven't seen quite what that other monster was. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear hits the field.
They're just going to force it now. Yeah.
He's forcing the fire hand out.
Rough.
Ice hand replaces it.
Can't think anything that McDuffie must be happy about that. Oh.
Tensu comes next.
Oh.
Is he going to summon, the bear? Ah, I see.
Yeah.
He gets rid of his own spell or trap and can end the string of hands.
By hurling cards at them until there aren't any more hands left.
Well, he's got a bear, and a bear
He's
is
got
also
a bear
a
against a
source of
clear
cards.
field, yeah. A bear is fine too.
Ah, it was a fire hand, and so he had a fire and ice hand.
Oh.
With another fire and ice hand, and Pot of Dichotomy is now activated. It's going to let him get 3 different types of monsters, 1 of each, shuffle them back into the deck, and draw 2 cards. But there are consequences. First off, he had to play it as the first card of his main phase, first thing.
And he won't be attacking that bear.
Nope. We'll see if he can draw something to put in the way of that bear. There's only 1 fire formation left.
Yeah, he
in
still has a
Tolbert's
third
deck.
Tenki, correct?
There's a third Tenki somewhere.
Yeah.
So just putting something into the way of bear is enough in this case. And it looks like he's got a Dianaya.
Looks like Dianaya wiretap?
Dianaya would be pretty good.
Dianaya would at least let him eliminate the bear.
Yep.
He's playing Black Ship, right? McDuffie?
Yep, he is playing Black Ship
Yeah.
of Corn. Dianaya comes down. Special summons. Trapshook's Myrmelio. And its effect activates to destroy a Black Horn of Heaven, which would have
Wow.
been really great to have.
Wow.
But instead, McDuffie has an Xyz summon.
He has several options here.
And it's looking like he's leaning towards starting off his chain of Dianaya summons. Bear's not so scary if there aren't any fire formations backing it up and making its effect live.
Fingering that number 106 giant hand.
He certainly has that option.
Looks like he's going for the chain to just kick off the sequence of Dianayas, yeah.
And it did look like he had some more traps.
Yeah.
to help back that play up.
Large mitt full of traps.
Dianaya goes to the top of the deck.
McDuffie just made exceptional use of his trap trick so far in this match.
Yep.
And that's a huge difference between the 1 Dianaya in Tolbert's deck and the 3 copies in McDuffie's. Sorry, those 2 copies.
Firehand comes down next.
Lots riding on that Firehand.
Not bad.
And it's got to ride through 3 back row cards.
Not bad at all. But we've seen debunk. We know that Solemn Warning is gone.
We've seen a debunk. We know he sides 2.
Yep, there could be another. Firehand. Attacks in on Lava Val Chain.
Wow.
And it goes through. Well, the attack goes through. We'll see if the effect goes through. It does not.
There's the second
has the second
debunk.
debunk.
You folks at home probably can't hear the large explosion from the assembled crowd, but they just exploded, and they are assembled.
Absolutely brutal. McDuffie's just drawn every single answer that he needed in this one. You know things are going well when you can get completely nailed by Full House and lose 3 of your best cards, and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, just you still win.
Bear goes to defense position,
Sad Bear.
and McDuffie picks up that Dianaya.
Tolbert's got really like 1 turn to turn this around.
Not really certain what he's going to do it with.
Don't like his odds,
He's
no.
played his Dark Hole already.
Yep.
He's got, I'm assuming that's not face down, and that last card is in his hand.
Yeah, it seems like it's in his hand.
And McDuffie's taking a look through that extra deck again. I get the distinct feeling that somebody is qualified for the World Championship. If we find out who it is, we'll let you know.
We did just hear our first loud enough to be a welcome to Italy cheer from the crowds over on the other side of the tournament hall. In the meantime, here on table 3, McDuffie detaching Traptrix Diania.
And placing...
Fingering the Moraltalk
But where's he going to put it?
in the graveyard.
He does run Call of the Haunted.
Hello,
so he can
Call
use
of the
that
Haunted,
to
yeah.
break up any sort of comeback play that
Hit
Tolbert has.
the bear now, and then if anything happens on next turn, Call clears it out.
Dianaya brings back Dianaya,
Sure.
which brings back Bottomless Trap Hole.
Momentary bottomless trap hole.
Interesting note about the Bottomless Trap Hole.
Okay, just to preface this, this is really interesting. Oh, but not as interesting as number 106, Giant Hand.
First, though, more interesting, number 106, Giant Hand.
Tolbert now locked down
Otherwise,
under
he has
Giant
prize
Hand's
card.
possible negation and the Moraltalk off what we assume is a Call of the Haunted.
Yep.
This is going to be a
This
handshake.
does not look like Tolbert has...
Handshake or a
much doing.
last defiant set of a monster? So it looks like those are both monsters.
He wants to read Giant Hand,
Yeah.
which he'll be able to do after the match as well, since I believe the entire top 32
He will be the proud owner of one.
has received one.
For now, it just says your monsters don't work.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And he knows that Bottomless Trap Hole there is waiting.
Oh, just so many layers of defense he's got to try and play through right now, and it's not going to happen.
And he's confirming...
Valiant effort, for sure.
Yeah, he's confirming it's for things on the field, right? At least trying to, bluff a hand.
Yeah.
And at the end of this turn, that bottomless trap hole is going to go away. And what I was talking about earlier, the reason it is that way is because Dionisia is based on the Venus flytrap, or Dionisia muscipula. And the way that the triggering mechanism for the Venus flytrap works is if something touches it on the inside, it arms the trap, but then whatever's inside of it has to touch another hair inside it within the next 20 seconds, or else the trap disarms. So Dionisia brings back the bottomless trap hole. What if nothing triggers it in the next turn? It's gone.
Isn't that the coolest? I think it's super cool. He told me about that between the matches. I was like, wow, that's totally cool.
Just haven't seen Dionisia much, but she is in full effect in this one.
Yeah.
Tolbert takes up a defensive stance. McDuffie knows that he's just about out of ways to deal with the hands. So he went ahead and switched the giant hand to defense position and held off. At the end of Tolbert's next turn, though, Artifact Sanctum comes out.
McDuffie just stacking up options and attackers at this point. He knows he's knocked out at least one of McDuffie's legs. All he's got to do is keep leaning on him. There's that call we were talking about. Yep.
Brings back the second Moral Talk.
Oh, is he going to go for a Constellar? Constellar Pleiades?
Yeah.
He knows he's either going to Pleiades or he's going to force something out of the back row.
Torrential Tribute.
Wow. Oh,
with the wire
tap. Slobber knocker of a duel. Yeah.
He has, in fact, the Pleiades.
There's that one wiretap. He has the Pleiades, yeah. Bump. Swing, swing, swing.
That's 18 plus 2,000, 38.
And that is a handshake. Korey McDuffie is going to the World Championship.
Tolbert still has a chance to make it, though, but he will need to win one final match against one of the other duelists who was non-victorious in this round.